Link building. When a website has been linked in the content of other websites, it's like a positive review from the search engine's point of view. It's like vouching for your content enough to be willing to redirect some of their traffic to your website. Link building is still an important factor, and you just need to make sure that they make sense to the users of the website. This can be done by ensuring that your links are useful to the visitors of a website, organically placed, give the user relevant and high-quality content, contain good anchor text. Let's understand the difference between a good link and a bad one from the search engine's point of view. Here are the factors. Number 1. The web page's authority. You need to find websites that will link back to your content, but it's important that those websites be voices of authority. Number 2. Website's relevance. If you run a sports website, a link back from a voice of authority on sports means a lot more than a forum that has nothing to do with sports at all. So you also need to pick websites that are intimately related to your content, products, or services. Number 3. The link's position on the page. The location of the link is a really important part of linking. If it's in the sidebar or footer, it doesn't have as much value as something that's in the beginning or middle of the content. Number 4. Editorial placement. After location, you need to see if the words that the hyperlink is attached to make it an editorial link. If it is placed such that their visitors get interested in your content, then the link is editorially placed. Number 5. The link's anchor text. This is a new term for you in this book. Anchor text is the part of the link that is clickable. Anchor text in this case. Search engines, especially Google, take the anchor text of a link quite seriously and as a parameter to increase your website's ranking too. Search engines and links. Search engines essentially like to use two types of links to decide the ranking of a website. The first is the type of links that help discover new content, and the second is the kind of links that help the search engine rank a website. This decision is made after the web pages are crawled, and the content on those pages is extracted to be indexed. When the search engine is satisfied because the linking meets the above-mentioned criteria and has the right set of keywords, it's ready to rank the page. As we now know, the decision is not just limited to the content of the page. It looks at the links from the external websites and judges the value of those links to decide the worth of your website. As you manage to get more links from high-value websites, your website's chances of being ranked higher on the search engine results page increase. How to execute a content marketing strategy. Along with SEO, content marketing is a very important part of modern marketing. When you combine these two concepts, if your execution is flawless, you can make your website an unstoppable force. If you make a content marketing strategy and keep search engine optimization in mind, your brand will be able to make the most out of any digital campaign. These kinds of strategies are often called integrated strategies because they bring two powerful concepts together. When SEO meets content marketing. When a customer of a certain product or service has a question, they immediately jump to a search engine and enter the question in the search bar. The likes of Google then find a website that can answer that question. When you are trying to capture that segment of your customers, you have a chance to reach them directly by optimizing your content. This is about giving them the right information at the right time. That is how search engine optimization and content marketing come together and benefit your brand. The execution process. This has a few simple steps. Once you put them in place, you will be able to take full advantage. Here's how it works. Step 1. Figure out your audience. Optimizing your content is all about making it easy for the user to find the products or services they want. So, you need to start by identifying who these customers are. Once you do that, you will be able to create the kind of content they are looking for. You need to identify your present customer base. Finding out who they are will point you towards data on what they like and what more they are expecting from your brand. This kind of data is both qualitative and quantitative. So do your research on age, gender, purchase history, and engagement with your website or brand. This gives you a rough description of your average existing customer. The next data point is to identify your competition. See what your demographic is looking for in your competition and why they are seeking those brands out. Step 2. Define yourself. Figure out current topics of discussion and create content accordingly. Make sure you speak like a voice of authority on the subject. If this requires more work and research, invest resources in it, because in the long run, you will see great results. Step 3. Do your keyword research. You know what this is all about. Step 4. Create great content. Once you have the unique content topic and the keywords that will help you reach the audience you are targeting, you must take the content beyond your blogs. You might even want to consider expanding the website to contain long-form content, like white papers and ebooks. Videos are a big part of the SEO game. Step 5. Update your content. The final step is to stay on top of your content game. This is possible by updating content that is relevant long after it is published. You know that updating headlines and descriptions along with the keywords and tags is useful. 10 SEO Best Practices. When you discuss best SEO practices, white hat SEO and black hat SEO are two terms that you will hear a lot. White hat techniques are those that help give your website goodwill in the eyes of search engines through good practices. Black hat techniques are basically the opposite. When you try cheap gimmicks to fool the search engine, you create ethical concerns and risk getting penalized by search engines. Number 1. Keyword placement. When you have a good set of keywords, it is natural to want to use them more often to get traction for your content. You already know not to overdo it, but you must also make sure that the main keyword is placed at the top of the content. This is because Google likes to see high-value keywords right on top, like in the first line. Number 2. Search intent. Then there is the term called search or user intent, which analyzes the reason behind each query. This is Google's priority, because when they know why a user wants to know something, they can find the websites that answer the question with those parameters in mind. So if you want to be on the first search results page, this is what you need to crack as well. Number 3. Page speed. The speed at which your web page loads is not just a matter of convenience for your user, but also an important SEO practice. This wasn't always the case, but in today's market, if you have a slow-loading page, your users will run like they are on fire. Search engines don't like recommending such pages to their users. Number 4. Use HTTPS. If you don't know it already, HTTPS makes your web page more secure. This is because the data exchange between the server and the user is encrypted when your website is secured with the HTTPS protocol. You can verify this by looking at the URL in the loading bar of the browser and seeing if there is a lock icon there. Number 5. Avoid duplicate content. I have mentioned this briefly when talking about keeping the content on your website unique, but this is what Google looks for. It says very clearly that the website should not have duplicate or near-duplicate content on different pages of your website. Number 6. Optimize your images. Adding images is a great way to break textual content on a page. But if they are not optimized, they will take forever to load and even slow down the overall page speed. This brings you back to bad user experience. You have certainly spent a lot of time picking the right images for the content you created. Number 7. Insert relevant hyperlinks. I have discussed link building wherein other websites link to your content, but you might also want to think about doing the same. It is normal to think that it might drive traffic away from your page, but it is an integral part of SEO strategy. When you link back to authority pages that have relevant information and are trustworthy, you give the visitor good information. This makes your website a place of valuable and quality information and helps with ranking. Number 8. Use your keyword research. You know that this is an important part of making sure your website gets visibility with the search engine. You want to create content that is consumed, and for that, you need to use the words that your customers and potential customers are using to find your products and services. Number 9. The Google Search Console. This is a great way to understand how your site is performing on the search engine results page. This is like a dashboard for your website and is incredibly helpful with SEO. It comes with many features like reports on 3 of the most critical factors: performance, enhancement, coverage. Number 10. Long-form content. This has gone out of fashion because people aren't reading long-form content as much as they want to. But the truth is, long-form content has a better chance of ranking higher on Google. There is plenty of research to show that the top-performing pieces are long-format articles that have more than 3,000 words.